I brought some show and tell here. Livewire herself.
Your shiny pony.
The crackling-witted Kelly Ripa, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on this Monday morning.
Don't you love a press release from like the publicity team? This
So I was
crackling wit.
So I've known Kelly for 20 plus years, but I was handed by our team and the Livewire book team.
Let's hear what they have to say about
They say
me.
she's a sharp, funny, honest collector of real-life stories. It's Kelly Ripa showing the many dimensions and crackling wit of the beloved daytime talk show host, and that is who we brought in this morning to talk to you.
You know what? I should have written the press release, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to write the book. I should have written the press release.
I will say, you're looking at three people that have never written a book, and I, for one, can say after this, I will never write a book.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Because you've lived the process with me.
I couldn't. I'm not capable of it. You wrote this. She wrote this Livewire book over the last how long? By yourself? How long?
It took door to door 2 years.
2 years of literally like doing our
Every day.
shows, going home on the weekends at night, no socializing, and put together all these stories of real life, though.
Yeah, they're real life stories. I blame the gyms of New York City. Had the gyms been open during the pandemic, this book would not have been born. But a girl had time on her hands, and I've always kept a journal. I found it very useful to go back and reflect and reread, and it's really an interesting thing to see emotionally, mentally, where I was at certain points in my life, and and how much things have changed a lot, but yet how they remain the same in a lot of ways. And I found it enormously helpful to have those reference points in my life to use for the book as sort of an outline, which I'm told is what most writers work from, is an outline. I sort of started out writing freehand, and I'm not kidding, freehand with a pen and a paper. Then I moved to a keyboard and a computer. But it was hard. It was not easy. I will never read a book the same way again, with the same sort of cavalier enjoyment. Now I think about the writer and how they suffered.
We know you have a good sense of humor, but as a writer, you have a really great sense of humor. And I mean, you speak candidly on our show every day, but you're even more candid in this book. In the writing, you can speak a little more freer.
But these are your stories. It's your life.
Yeah, these are my stories. There's a few stories about my early childhood, a few stories about moving to New York and finding employment and meeting my husband, and then getting what we call my fancy job, which is the talk show. And then there's a thrilling character in the New Testament, which is Ryan Seacrest, who I sort of take liberties with your character. I portray you as maybe a superhero who lives in a subterranean lair.
I love the character she's created of me. She calls me the Boy Wonder. You guys have never called me that. Has it ever crossed your mind?
No, but we call you a lot of things.
I'm sure you do.
But that's mostly behind your back.
Not to his face.
But I really wrote the book for everyone, but it's a love letter to women. It really is a love letter to women and to people who are what I call women friendly. And Ryan, you would be very women friendly. My husband is one of the most female forward thinking men I know. Like he really advocates from a place of what would make my wife, my daughter, my mother's life easier? What would make my sister's life better? What would make the women in my life, what would make their lives better? And so this is a love note to women and people who have supported women.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'll get you a copy. Get you a signed copy. Girl.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful,
We
by
have
the
a whole-
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. I wanted people to think it was Sarah Jessica Parker on the cover. And
yeah.
maybe think
Sold.
it was- don't you think?
Yeah.
Don't you think it was like genius on my part? Everybody said, "Oh, that picture looks like Sarah Jessica Parker." I go,
Brilliant.
"Then that's the one we need."
Kelly Ripa Livewire is out tomorrow, so make sure you pick up a copy of that book wherever books are sold.
Thank you so
Good luck.
much, Ryan.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on
You really
getting
know
this
how to
done.
sell a book.
I know. I'll keep selling.